Hi, everyone. Hi, Taylor. How are you today? In the
Hello, I'm
dark?
doing right. It's so dark already. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, I do like it for my morning jog because there's sunrise and I'm not running in the
Running
dark
in the
where it's
dark, right?
sad, especially because today is dark and rainy anyway. So it's one of those days that you're like, huh? You feel like you're losing your will to live every second you spend outside. But yeah, it's 5 p.m. here. Then it was 4 p.m. where you are, and it's already getting dark. So that's okay. That's fine. We take our vitamin D supplements and we
That's
move
right. And
on.
we just get through
Hmm
it. I don't understand it or why we still do it. But nonetheless,
It
it's
is.
it
And
is. It
here we are.
is. And here we are with it. So
Lots of scary things to talk about this week.
oh.
Start with the good scary things. What
Oh,
happened?
so
Halloween.
Halloween at the meal,
Hmm
always a good time. Had a huge dance party, but then we did the haunted mill tour. So the public got to come in. You purchase a ticket after hours and tour the whole meal, and they took the history of the meal and integrated it with some fiction to make it a little more fun. And
Right.
studios, dressed up and cast shadows and sounds and just walking through a building that old in the dark at night is creepy on its own, but when you add all this to it, it was just a great time had by all. So I think about 90 tickets sold. So the first time out of the gate, not terrible.
Yeah.
We were there for 4 hours working it, mom and I, while Mike was out of town and cousin that was there, of course. But I was glad to see it go. And then our independent cinema opened that night as well.
Ooh.
And they went from like 11 to 5 in the morning. And I was just
Oh,
like, y'all have
wow.
fun. Yeah, y'all have fun
Yeah.
with that. Y'all let me
Yeah.
know how
See
it
ya.
goes. Right.
I
It's
need my
time for
beauty
this
sleep.
this old boy to go to bed.
Uh-huh. So what did they
Yes.
show? Do you know? Did they show like scary movies?
I,
Was
I think
it?
it was just a marathon of different scary movies.
Oh, when
Yeah.
I
So
was
I was
way
like,
younger, 7 million years ago, more or less, and when we had nights of advertising. So there was this one of those like independent little theater, and you'd show up at 11 p.m. and it would go until 5 or 6 or whenever, and it was nothing but ads, the best ads from around the world. It was a riot. It was so much. I love advertising, and some of those were a little osé, and there was some stuff that was like, ooh, wow, yeah, it was
oh,
really fun. They don't do this anymore, as far as I know. I couldn't stand up anyway. I couldn't stay up this
no,
late
that's
anyway.
it's too
Like
too late for me.
eleven
Too late for
thirty.
me.
Yeah, this little
Right.
Cinderella
If we
turns
can
into a
just
pumpkin.
like, yeah, let's meet for coffee. Let's start in the morning. That's just better than 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, so and then there's a bunch of scary stuff happening too.
Oh, real
Yeah.
life.
hmm So
Hmm.
first of all, Canada made the news in Alabama about her ad, a Ronald Reagan ad, which you'd noticed last week.
Right.
And now apparently the Donald Trump first liked a lot and then didn't like at all. And that caused
Right.
the prime minister to, for some reason that completely escaped me, apologize to the president for the ad.
Excuse me. To fly
Sorry,
halfway
I
around the
roll my
world
eyes.
and
Yeah.
apologize for the ad.
Right. So I'm rolling my eyes so hard that like my eyeballs are falling off outside of my head. Like it's ridiculous to do that. But anyway, so that made the news in Alabama. I don't
It
think that
did.
people there understand it as much as anybody else because there's no rhyme or reason for this.
Right. It's just egonomics is all it is. It's
Oh, that's
not.
a good word.
That
Did you
is a
make
good
that
word
up?
for it. No, I did not. So I just borrowed
Good.
it.
That's fine.
But
That's fine.
we had Reaganomics and now
Uh-huh.
it's egonomics. And that's all that it boils down to. There's no, you got offended by a commercial. Well, so what? I mean, watch South
Yeah.
Park. He's on it every week but it's still in the air. So I don't
I think
know. It's just insanity.
they show which one it was not Christy Nome this time. It was Pam Bondi. The
Oh,
yeah,
that
with
one.
the nose with
Mm.
the anyway, if people haven't seen the latest South Park, I'm not gonna spoil it as it were for you, but go see what's on her nose. And
We will have
yeah.
to check it out. I'm not caught up.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No.
No, you'll like it.
Yes, I have
I think
several
somebody
episodes.
I think somebody's restraining Donald Trump from watching it because he'd be exploding every single week
Every
at this rate.
week. But
Yeah.
oh, it's just getting crazier. And we're in day 33 of the shutdown.
So how are
30.
people like doing with this? Because I know it's impacting real people, like federal employees, people on
Boy,
SNAP, which is the Supplementary Nutritional Assistance
assistance
Program,
program.
what we used to
Yes.
be called food stamps. So
Food stamps. And
it's
now it's
food
SNAP.
assistance for poor people, basically.
For yes, it's need based. What I hear on the news, food pantries can't keep anything in. It's coming down to the state level where states are trying to step in and do what they can. But I don't even remember which state was talking on the news before I came on with you. You know, it's like $380 million a month is what the federal government paid out to them. And they're like, we just don't have that in our resources to pay 1 month, much less monthly when it's 100% federally funded program. And there's not a lot being done about it from what I
Hmm.
can tell. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
it's left up to the states. And, Alabama's like, oh, we don't have any money, but we're going to build all these new prisons. We have money for that, but we don't have money for food assistance programs. So that's kind of mm, it's tone deaf, like you said, to the whole
Right.
situation of what's really going on.
Hmm.
Um,
Because the food stamps or the SNAP programs, it affects about 700 and some people in Alabama only. These are the recipients to the
right.
program. But this, the fact that it's no longer there, it also affects the small independent grocery stores where people with the food
W-
stamps, no,
would
sorry, not the
shop.
food stamps, with the SNAP benefits would go and shop. And so this affects, and there's like
It's a
cascading effects, and it's
it's a
really hitting
trickle up,
people.
you know.
Yeah, people who don't necessarily have a whole bunch of other options. And so this is really penalizing them, and they really have nowhere to turn. And it's up to the community to come together and have food drives and specials and trying to help one another. I
And
guess
it's
it's
in
forcing that, but it's not great.
but it's not, and especially when we live in such a divisive time, and
Hmm.
it's been you're black or white this whole time, and now there's a need that we should come together as a country, as a people, to no one should go hungry.
Hmm.
We have too much, but I don't even think you could get people to get along to do that. If it's not through your church or a local food bank, I just don't know that you would get both sides to come together and to raise funds or to, I don't know. It's a
No
scary
longer,
situation.
it is scary. And meanwhile, the president is playing a Great Gatsby theme evening at
Evening,
Mar-a-Lago, which,
right.
was it about we were saying last week about Marie Antoinette, and then let them eat
And
cake. Yeah,
here,
I'm gonna party
right.
here. Hmm.
That's what we did. And it's crazy with the dancers and the cups, and like
Yeah.
I get having fun. You've got a whole White House to have fun in, throw a party. But when uh, a, ma- I would say a majority of your country is doing without right now because of you, and you kind of bite your thumb with this ballroom and then this big party, and you it's just another example of how disconnected that group really is. So if it's not affecting him or his sphere of orbit, the billionaires that get the tax funds and or tax refunds or tax rebates, and it's not on his radar, because they're the ones that are paying for these parties and these ballrooms, and
Hmm.
they'll just leave the rest of us out in the cold.
So there's a columnist in one of the Alabama newspapers talking about this and talking about, and you'll forgive my language, but as fuck you politics or middle
Uh-huh.
finger politics. Apparently,
Fuck
that's a
you is fine
Southern
with me.
tradition. It's a Southern tradition. Tell the people, what exactly is fuck you politics, and why does it
So
apply in this case?
So Alabama's just a good example of fuck you politics when it comes down the pipeline, and it's not something historically Alabama has wanted to do. We say fuck you. And this goes back to the heart of systemic racism, and when they were going to open public pools up for
Hmm.
black people and white people, what does Alabama do? They fill them up with dirt, or open public golf courses to black and white. They shut them down. They concreted over the holes, and built private country clubs. Or I believe it was a Kennedy that came to Alabama, and George Wallace put the Confederate flag up above the Capitol, and it remained there, I believe, until 1996. And it's just kind of a backwards way to do things. It's impactful as a big splash or I'm going to show you, but the
Hmm.
long term repercussions, they stay around forever. Alabama will always be known for being a very backward state because of our way of handling with fuck you politics. Okay, Washington says we're going to do this. Well, we're not going to do it because we don't believe in it. And
And
that's
we'll
very
show
much what
you.
he's
Yeah.
will show
Yeah.
you. And look
Hmm.
at us, like we're the 49th state in the union, like when it comes to education and, probably the second state when it comes to poverty, but it just doesn't work. It leaves a tarnished legacy. And it's very much what they're doing in Washington now with this ballroom. There's no n- nobody's putting their heads together. There's no historians involved. It's just like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. And it sets a dangerous precedent that,
Right.
okay, that you can do this. So
Hmm.
what's the next person going to do once we've
Hmm.
pushed this envelope? And
Hmm.
it was the same way in Alabama. Like, okay, we're not going to integrate schools. We're not going to integrate the University of Alabama. Hell, our governor stood in the doorway of the University of Alabama to try to prohibit black students from entering, just to say fuck you. And they had to bring in the National Guard, and of course they got to enter and go to school. But that we take it to such lengths, I mean, learn from our mistakes here.
Yeah.
When didn't this with this Roaring Twenties party? The twenties were great for the billionaires in New York,
And the
but
oil barons and all these
it
people. Yes.
but it all comes crashing down eventually.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
read your history books, people. It's
Read a book? What?
but right,
What?
what? No, I'm surprised we're not burning those down here. But
Mm.
I don't know.
But
There's time for
yeah, I want to be hopeful. I'm maybe I'm guilty of having rose-colored glasses, but the same way I see Alabama has having moved not fully away from that kind of politics, but it's making progress.
yes,
There's
we have made
right?
great strides, but it's just a great example of how fuck you politics doesn't work in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And you
took
think,
years
yeah.
and just with um your districting and how that the maps are drawn and where the poverty is and where there's a clear differential between black and white and income and it, we're still fighting this to try to get it
Hmm.
right, and it just didn't work. But yes, you are correct. It is much better than it used to be, for sure.
Hmm.
But on the national level, it's scary that that's what we're turning to.
Well, one person is turning to it, and his
Right,
right.
just the
So
head.
here's yeah, here's going to be my let's hope for something better. And I don't have much of a plan
Yes,
other than to hope for it. And if
that's
people who
right. Fingers
pray go
crossed.
ahead and pray for it,
Right.
I'm just going to hope for it. That there are grown-ups around in the party,
Somewhere,
in the administration,
please.
running for office next year, the midterms, uh, anywhere. Like I'll take them from
Right,
anywhere,
right.
who will say, "Oh, enough of this shit." Like
Like
enough,
Marjorie
enough.
Taylor Greene is doing.
Thank you. Why is this
And
that two
this
weeks
is
running that we're like
twice
praising this
we're on the
woman?
same page.
Like
Like, are
my
you the
hair's frizzing
only?
because of it. Like, it's
I
not
can't
right.
even wrap my mind around it, but she has more balls than any man in Washington to stand up and say, you're not going to lead me around by the nose. And this is
Uh-huh.
what I believe, and I'm not going to be silenced. And I'm like, good for you, girl. Like,
Yeah.
a nemesis to begin with, but now it's just like, you can be a Republican and be smart, and you don't have to agree with everything that they're all doing. That's the beauty of a democracy. We can or should be able to have conversation and you know argue in ways that help serve our country and our people. That's what you're there to do. And into day
Yes.
33, and people are without paychecks, and they've got 33 days of vacation and still getting their insurance. Um, and going right on with their lives like nothing else is happening. But Marjorie's giving it to them. So
Hmm. Somebody
go,
was
Marjorie.
mentioning that because she's from a district that's very, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but predominantly rural, mostly religious, like very much evangelical.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes.
if
Yes.
from a Canadian point of view, like think of the almost like the caricature of the evangelical rural, Christian kind of
Hmm.
Republican social conservative voter. and that because that's her base, that these are her people, her district, that they really don't they can't stomach the Epstein thing, which is still, by the way, a thing, right? Like
It's
we
still a
still don't.
thing. Just
Mhm. And these people really
it's a
don't
big
like
thing in
that.
England.
Yeah. Oh, well, we
Oh
can't call him the
yes,
prince anymore. It's now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
right.
Do you think
And
he's going to
so,
spill some beans?
well,
What has he
some of
got
the
to lose?
people at this point, not a whole lot, but some of the girls said that they're going to make their own list and start calling it out. I know this isn't an
Yeah.
Alabama topic, but we just try not, we, the media, tries not to talk about it
Hmm.
anymore here because they're so I just can't even imagine who's on the list. I don't care, but if you are a child abuser, then you don't need to be in a position of power. Like I don't care who you are. I don't care if Bill Clinton's on it. I don't care, if Mother Teresa was on it. But like
Right.
if you're on it, then we have to own that, and we
Right.
can't keep hiding you and just covering up and covering up. That's not really the answer we need. But
Yeah. It's about
England sure
accountability
did.
at the end of the day,
That's all
right?
at the end of the day.
And I
And what do
think
we
what the
do when we
king
don't
has
have it?
done, yeah, the king has done the right thing there. I think there's got to be evidence that is when you say people
It's
sometimes you have
coming.
plausible deniability. I think that
Right.
deniability became
It's gone.
implausible, and they say, "All right, buddy, you're out." And this
Right.
has
So,
repercussions for his family, for any number of people. But at the same time, the evidence shows that, yeah, you're.
mm,
Uh, mm-mm,
then
we're not
yeah,
going to
you need
deal
to
with this.
go.
Yes,
Right.
that's
And I'm
accountability, basic
afraid,
accountability.
right. I'm afraid it would just clean house here. Like when and if the list does come out.
Mm,
Just because this was such a saga that went on for so long,
hmm.
that he got away with for so long. So,
Yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed that it does come on out sooner
Hmm.
than later.
Well, that would be good. Then maybe that would end the shutdown at the same time. Haha.
Because girl,
Hmm.
don't try to fly in anywhere because they're shutting down.
Well, I'm
All the
coming in
airports
2 weeks,
are running.
so
I
there
know,
better
so
be.
that you just be prepared for
I mean, I have to crawl my
the
way
delays.
down.
That's right.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's affecting everything, but it's where we're at. So we just take it a day at a time and
Hmm.
see what's
Anything
next.
fun and exciting happening in your life in Huntsville these days? I mean, it's November.
Well,
It's kind of like,
it's right. We just got through
mm.
Halloween. We did get married last Tuesday,
That's
so
right.
we did.
Congratulations.
We snuck off and got married.
Yeah, there better be a
Which
party later.
yes, the party is coming. We'll do that in the first quarter of next year. But with so many things going on and with my health, I'm on
Hmm.
the public insurance, or it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, but it's just an individual. And I got my letter in the mail last week, and my premium was going to triple, and there's no subsidy to offset it. So
Hmm.
you're looking at about $1,500 just for your insurance payment. That's a
Wow.
lot of
A
money.
month.
So
A
a
month.
month.
Wow.
Yes.
To a Canadian,
And
that's just so weird
exactly.
and
And, you
scary.
know, fortunately, Mike being in healthcare has amazing insurance. And now I've got the benefit of being
That's
on
fast
there.
because
So
you're. Mhm.
that was just going to be another expensive bill because I use insurance regularly.
Well, I mean,
But
yes, we want
that
to
was an
keep you
exciting
alive.
thing. That's
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
I'm high maintenance that way. Um,
Well, that's
so
the point of healthcare, right? It's to deal
that's right.
with
So when you
people
need
when you
it,
have
you
a
use
health issue.
it.
There you go. And you shouldn't be bankrupt because you have a heart condition,
Well,
or
right.
because, I don't know, your child has
Or
cancer, or because
sure, or
any
you
number of reasons.
anything. And so
Hmm.
it's just it'll be interesting to see where we're at come the first of the year with this shutdown, with the SNAP programs, with the insurance, because that
Hmm.
goes into effect January 1. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got insurance through the end of the year at your locked in rate that you had it. But all that goes away January 1. So these families that get the subsidy to offset, if they're not on Medicare, like you can't afford food now, you can't
That's
afford
right.
insurance. Like when you start
Yeah.
juggling, do I eat or do I get insurance? It's what are we
Impossible
doing?
choices. Yeah. In such a
Absolutely.
wealthy country, it is just not. Yeah.
That no one should
Hmm.
do without in this
That's
country.
right. Yeah. No, you're
But
right.
it's where
All
we're
right.
at, and We just
We'll keep
try to make it the
chronicling it,
best
I
we
guess.
can,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
One day at a time is all we can do.
All right. One darkness at a time. It's already
That's right.
nighttime
One
here.
night at a time in your case, yes.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll hope that this gets sorted late, maybe in time for
Sooner
my
than
birthday,
later,
which is
right?
next week when we talk. I'll be 55 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a little
Exciting
party.
big plans.
No, no, I don't
Yeah.
really do big plans, but I'll have a little
Oh,
little party. Maybe
yeah.
the kids,
Yeah.
maybe my kids will surprise me with something if
Hint,
they're
hint.
listening.
That's right.
Okay.
Tune in, kids.
Yeah. I'll see you next week then,
Oh,
Taylor.
all right, love. Have a great week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.